Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the third video in this series, refuting Robert Spencer's book, Did Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam exist? We are still focusing on the silly and embarrassing mistakes that Robert Spencer committed in his book. And today the topic is the collection of the Quran. Let's get right into it. In page 243, Robert Spencer writes, Abdul Malik, who reigned from 685 till his death in 705, claimed to have been responsible for the collection of the Quran when he said, I fear death in the month of Ramadan. In it I was born, in it I was weaned, in it I collected the Quran. And in brackets, Robert writes, Jama'atul Quran, which is the Arabic word for collected the Quran. So Robert Spencer here makes a bold claim that the Islamic sources says that Abdul Malik ibn Marwan was the one who collected the Quran. And according to Abdul Malik himself, he made that claim that he collected the Quran. He said Jama'atul Quran, which means collected the Quran. Here is the word Jama'atu in Arabic and in English. It means collected the Quran. Therefore, Robert Spencer is correct. The word here is Jama'atu, which means he collected the Quran. Robert Spencer doesn't need to provide any further evidence. Just the fact that Abdul Malik used the word Jama'atul Quran is enough to conclude that Abdul Malik is claiming to have collected the Quran. Now there is a little problem with this conclusion. If we follow this logic, then we will have thousands of people claiming to have collected the Quran. Let's check some of them. This is an Egyptian author, Mustafa Sadiq al-Rafi'i. In this quote, Mustafa Sadiq al-Rafi'i is using the word Jama'atul Quran. He claims to have collected the Quran when he was 10 years old. Really, Mustafa Sadiq al-Rafi'i collected the Quran when he was 10 years old. In 1890, Mustafa al-Rafi'i was 10 years old. So the Quran has been collected in 1890 by Mustafa al-Rafi'i. Very strange, because we've heard that it was collected by Uthman. Let's check another one. This tweet was in April 2018. This guy, anonymous guy in Twitter, is claiming to have collected the Quran because he's saying, after I Jama'atul Quran. Do you see the word Jama'at here? So he's claiming to be the one who collected the Quran. So he's talking to a sheikh in this tweet, and he's saying, Sheikh, after I collected the Quran, blah blah blah. Really? The Quran was collected in April 2018. Very strange. Let's go to the next one. This woman, this lady, her name is Noura, in December 2020, she is expressing her wish to collect the Quran. She's saying, when will I ajma' al-Quran? So she's using the word jama'atu al-Quran. She's expressing her wish to collect the Quran. But this is very strange because the Quran has already been collected, and this is in December 2020. What's going on here? Let's go to the next one. This guy is teaching people how to collect the Quran. How to collect the Quran? I mean, the Quran is already collected. You can go to a bookstore and buy a Quran, or you can buy it on Amazon. Why does this guy teach people how to collect the Quran? And how are they going to collect the Quran? I mean, are they going to go to companions now? Where are the companions of the Prophet? How are they going to collect the Quran? Doesn't make sense, does it? Let's go to the next one. So this guy here is saying that he promised himself that he will collect the Quran. Mate, why are you promising yourself to collect the Quran? I mean, the Quran has been already collected. You can go and buy it from bookstore, from internet. You can get thousands of Qurans. You don't need to collect the Quran anymore. So what's going on here? How come all of these people claim to be the ones responsible for the collection of the Quran? Is every one of them claiming to be the one who collected the Quran? Short answer, no. And this is a very good chance to say to everyone who mocks Muslim when they say to someone, you don't know Arabic, you don't know Arabic, they laugh. They make fun of this response. Here we have an excellent example of a fake expert who claims to be expert in Islam, who claims that he doesn't need to know Arabic in order to critique Islam. And here he is making this silly mistake because of his ignorance on the Arabic language. First of all, I'm sure that every one of you, whether you are a Muslim or a non-Muslim, you acknowledge the impossibility that all of these examples that we have just seen really claim to be responsible for collecting the Quran. So what's the problem? The problem is simply in understanding the meaning of the word Jama'atul Quran. If you go to Arabic Wikipedia and write Jama'al Quran, Jama'atul Quran, you will get two different meanings. The first one is memorizing it in the heart, and the second one is collecting it, which means writing it down. But maybe Wikipedia is not accurate, right? So let's go to an actual dictionary, Arabic dictionary. This is Al-Ma'ani dictionary, and here it gives these different interpretation of the meaning of Jam' al-Quran. The first one is writing it down. The second one is memorizing it. And here it gives an example that someone memorized the Quran when he was 10 years old, and it uses the word Jama'a, the same word that Abdul Malik ibn Marwan used in the example Robert Spencer gave. Let's take an example from the hadith. In this hadith, Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As is saying that he used to memorize the Quran and recite it all in one night, and he used the word Jama'atul Quran. So does it make sense that Abdullah ibn Amr will go to the companions and collect the Quran and write it down every night? And notice that they are using the word memorized to translate the word jama'atu here. It's the same word that Abdul Malik ibn Marwan used in the example Robert Spencer gave. And we have another example of Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqfi, which Robert Spencer also says that he was responsible for collecting the Quran. We will come to that later, inshallah. So in this story, Al-Hajjaj is asking a boy. The first question was, أحفظت القرآن, which means, did you memorize the Quran? Now notice the word حفظت, يحفظ in Arabic means both, either memorize or preserve. So the boy wanted to trigger Al-Hajjaj, so he played with words. When Al-Hajjaj asked him, did you memorize, and he used the word حفظ, يحفظ, which means preserve, the guy answered Al-Hajjaj, why should I preserve it? Allah Azza wa Jal has already preserved it. Now Al-Hajjaj wants to clarify himself more. So he is going to use another word which means memorize. So he asked the boy, أجمعت القرآن? He used the word جمعت, يجمع, the same word that Abdul Malik used in the example that Robert Spencer gave. So first he asked him, أحفظت القرآن, which means did you memorize it? And when the boy played semantic, like, okay, no, why will I preserve it? Because the word يحفظ also means preserve. Then Al-Hajjaj clarified himself by saying أجمعت القرآن. He used the word جمعت to say, did you memorize? Now, does it make sense that Al-Hajjaj is asking a young boy if he has collected the Quran? If he has, went to all the companions and started collecting the Quran? He's just a boy. Who would expect a boy to go and do this and collect the Quran? So Al-Hajjaj here was talking about memorization, memorizing the Quran. Abdullah ibn Amr was talking about memorizing the Quran. Al-Rafi'i was talking about memorizing the Quran. All of these people that we showed who tweet about Jam' al-Quran were not saying that they collected the Quran. They were talking about memorizing the Quran. And likewise, Abdul Malik was talking about memorizing the Quran, unless Robert Spencer can provide us some context which show that Abdul Malik, some tradition that is talking about Abdul Malik collecting the Quran. Simply saying that Abdul Malik used the word Jama'atul Quran doesn't mean anything. This word is always used in Arabic to refer to memorizing the Quran or reading the Quran from the beginning to the end. Why did Robert commit this silly mistake? Because he is a fake expert. He's not an expert at all. And whenever we tell him that he doesn't understand Arabic and he shouldn't be pretending that he's an expert when he doesn't know Arabic, he mocks us. Here is a good example of why you should not pretend to be an expert about certain culture and religions since you don't know the language of the original sources. Thank you so much everyone for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.